She came for a vacation. She left with a love she'd never forget. A true love story based on real events. Summer 2018. Part 1. A chance across continents. She was supposed to stay only for 2 weeks. Ayzen had landed in Dubai for a brief break from her demanding corporate life in Astana, Kazakhstan. She was 31 strong, elegant, with wild curls that never listened and a soul that always did. She needed an escape from routines, from expectations. She needed to feel something unexpected. Amir had just transferred to Dubai from Constantine, Algeria. The city was a step forward in his career, but also a second chance. He was 33, grounded, masculine, carrying with him the quiet storms of a man who'd seen love go wrong once and still dared to believe in it again. They weren't supposed to meet, but destiny, like desert winds, doesn't always respect borders. It was her second night in the city. She sat at a wooden table by the pool, flicking through her phone, pretending to be busy while sipping mango juice. Her girlfriends had cancelled last minute. The music was soft. The palms shimmered under LED lights, and everything felt a little too staged until she noticed him. He wasn't looking around like a tourist. He sat confidently at the bar, focused but calm. Black hair, tanned skin, thick eyebrows and deep eyes. He looked serious, like he could feel things deeply, like maybe she wasn't imagining this pull. Amir saw her before she saw him. It was the hair that first caught his eye, then the expression somewhere between gentle curiosity and quiet strength. She was different from the Dubai crowd. No exaggerated glam, no mask, just presence. And it hit him. She doesn't belong to this city. That's why she stands out. And that was exactly why he stood up and walked toward her. "Is this seat taken?" "No," she said, startled but intrigued. "But I'm not waiting for anyone." "I'm glad," he smiled, offering his hand. "Amir." "Ayzen." He sat across from her. And just like that, the world faded. Part 2. The language of eyes. Their first conversation lasted hours. They talked about everything, not like strangers, but like two people relieved to finally meet someone who understood silence. She spoke of snow-covered sidewalks in Astana, how her city looked like glass in winter, how she wrote poetry but never shared it. He spoke of winding roads in Constantine, of his mother's almond couscous, of the time he sold his guitar to pay rent but never lost the music inside him. There was something cinematic about the moment. The pool reflected the stars. The air smelled like coconut oil and grilled fish. And the staff began closing other tables, but not theirs. "I feel like we've met before," she said softly. Amir smiled. "Or maybe we were supposed to meet here. Now." Their hands touched briefly as he passed her the napkin holder. Electric. Not desperate. Not forced. Just real. Part 3. The fire within. Over the next few days, they became inseparable. Mornings were coffee by the marina. Afternoons spent walking through the souk. Evenings dinner and deep talks. He taught her Arabic words that tasted like honey. She told him Kazakh lullabies her grandmother used to hum. There were moments they didn't speak at all, just looked. And in those moments, time obeyed them. On the 4th night, he brought her to a quiet rooftop in Jumeirah. No reservations. Just stars, shawarma wraps, and each other. "I think I'm in trouble," she whispered. He looked at her, dead serious. "Why?" "Because I don't want to go back." There it was, the confession behind the glance. Amir touched her hand. "Maybe you weren't supposed to." They didn't kiss then. Not yet. But something passed between them stronger than skin. Something magnetic. Something that asked the universe for permission to deepen. Part 4. The first touch. It was the night of July 24th. The photo was taken just moments after it happened. They had gone back to the poolside restaurant. The same one where they first met. Same table. Same view. Same music. But this time, they sat closer. Their bodies remembered things their minds hadn't said yet. She wore a soft cotton dress, no makeup. Just her, the real her. He noticed every detail. The way her hair curled over her shoulder. The tiny freckle near her collarbone. "You're not afraid of this?" he asked quietly. She tilted her head. "Of what?" "This, us." She took a long breath. "I was, but not now." Then she reached across the table and took his hand. It was the first time she touched him intentionally. Their fingers interlocked like they had done it 1,000 times before. He leaned closer. No one else existed. And then, finally, as the night swam around them, they kissed. Not rushed. Not polite. But full, deep, charged, with lips that asked questions. And tongues that whispered yes. The photo was taken by a waiter they barely remembered. They had asked for one picture, just for the memory. They didn't know it would become a portal back to the moment they fell. Part 5, After the Magic. But love doesn't live in photographs. The days slipped fast. Her return flight loomed. She pretended not to check the calendar. He pretended not to notice. That time was catching up. On their last night, they sat on the sand in silence. "I don't want to lose this," she said. "You won't," he replied. "Because you can't lose something that becomes part of you. I don't want another goodbye that haunts me." "Then don't say goodbye," Amir said. "Say until later." And so they made a promise. No pressure. No illusions. Just a real connection, no matter the miles. Part V. A love that didn't end there. Azan returned to Astana. And he stayed in Dubai. But something stayed between them, more real than geography. They called. Every day. Wrote long letters. Sent voice notes. Shared silence. He learned how to say, "Men seni sagindma," I miss you, just to make her cry. She sent him handwritten poems he framed beside his bed. They met again. Twice. Once in Istanbul. Once in Tashkent. And while life pulled them in different directions. Careers. Cities, responsibilities. Their connection became a sacred space. A shared memory they could always return to. They didn't marry. They didn't move countries. But they never stopped loving each other. Even now, years later, Azan sometimes opens that photo. The one by the poolside restaurant and smiles. Because some love stories don't need a dramatic ending. They just need to be real. And remembered,